Hi everyone, it's Lee and welcome to the channel. It's been a few weeks since I last played Battlefield 2042, but I've jumped back on to check out the currently ongoing event called Circle of Hell, and this coincided with Halloween last week. This will be running for 4 weeks, and it actually comes with an event pass with 30 tiers to complete, where you can unlock different cosmetics and the M1 Garand weapon. The most interesting thing is that this is a hardcore experience with many changes to what we are normally used to. On Battlefield's website, it says there's minimal HUD, no minimap, refined squad and inventory widgets, reduced health, rebalanced weapons, vehicle health and damage output is increased, vehicle weak point damage is increased, reinforcements, objective capture time and objective impact have all been increased too. Plus weapon selection is based on class, and there's no traversal sprint and slides. There are only 2 maps available with 2 game modes so far in this event, which are 64 player Conquest and Rush on the maps Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein. On Battlefield's website it does state that there will be 2 other maps, Redacted and Orbital, with the game mode Breakthrough as well. These will be added in the last 2 weeks of the event. DICE have changed the atmosphere on both maps, so the Battle of the Bulge is a bit more eerie, with the weather being cloudy and set around like late afternoon or evening time, and El Alamein is set at late evening with very low light. As well as the hardcore mode, there is another playlist where they removed the hardcore rules, so you can play this event with normal rules. This was a good idea to add a standard game mode because I know some players won't want to play hardcore. So I've been playing this event for the past week, in the hardcore mode specifically, and personally I think these maps are awful for this event, because they are too big and open with not much cover between capture points. I'll be running over a long distance trying to get to a capture point, and halfway there I will be killed by a sniper from far, or a tank sitting at the back of the map, or at a safe distance, and this happens a lot, so it's really frustrating. This leads me to pull out my sniper so I can counter snipe, plus attaching the thermal scope so I can see where enemies are. I think these maps force players to either snipe, choose the engineer class to try and remove vehicles from play, and makes the thermal scope a must for the majority of players so that they can easily see players in the distance. As it's hardcore, there is friendly fire on too, and many times you are shot at or killed by your teammates. I would complain about these players because they should be more careful before they shoot, but then again, I don't think it's entirely their fault. With hardcore mode, you have to adjust the way you play a bit, because you have to be more aware of where your teammates and enemies are. You gotta read the map, work as a team, and slow down how you play a little bit. And I can see many casual players struggling with this game mode because they're not used to it. I've played some hardcore games in Portal before and also played the game with no HUD in normal game modes, so I've had some experience and know how challenging it can be. But I've even had difficulty separating friendlies from enemies in this event. You have to tag players you spot to confirm what team they're on, and sometimes the markers above players' heads don't show what team they are on, or are hard to see for a second or two, so you think they're enemies and shoot, only to find out that they're friendly. Luckily, I haven't killed my own teammates. I don't think I have, but I have seen players kill their teammates, and then you'll see that person who got killed moan in the chat. I've actually been killed a few times, and one of them was pretty funny, where the teammate ran me over in their tank. They did apologise, but I did find it funny because they didn't see me laying there when I was sniping. When playing with no HUD, players have neon colours on their bodies to help you identify if they are teammates or enemies. But these can be very hard to see, especially when they're at a distance, so it's hard to tell what team people are on. These neon indicators could be a bit bigger and easier to see, so you can make that decision to shoot much quicker. Having these neon lights being a bit bigger and brighter could ruin the immersion of this event. Maybe what would help is if teams had specific uniforms, so that you can tell who's an enemy or who's a friendly. I do wonder how this will play out when Redacted is made available, because Redacted is a small map and I have a feeling that there could be a lot of players killing their teammates by accident. And if that becomes the case, then I don't think it's going to be a good experience. We will just have to wait and see how that turns out. I don't mind these hardcore game modes, and I have enjoyed some of the games that I've played, but overall it has been a frustrating experience. Obviously, you have more fun when you're on the winning team, where you're controlling the map and all the points, but then when you're not on the team that's winning, and you're on a team that's struggling to capture points, then that's when it can be very frustrating because the enemies have got you locked down and you can't make any forward progression because they're either sniping you off when you're trying to run to the point, or you've got tanks shooting at you, and if you're in a vehicle trying to get to one of these points, you're quickly taken out. So it's just like basically waiting for the game to end at that point, and people give up. Going back to where I say immersion, I don't think that this is immersive. It's nowhere on the levels of Battlefield 1. The nighttime is a good idea, but I don't think it adds anything, to be honest. Maybe if these maps were pitch black and that you could use night vision goggles and rely on certain light in areas on the map, I think that would have been more engaging and play into the theme of this event. What I do like about the event is that only specific weapons can be used for each class. It reminds me of previous Battlefield games like Battlefield 3 and 4, and maybe this is DICE testing the waters for the next Battlefield game to see how players react with these changes. Regarding the changes on the movement, I didn't really miss the traversal sprint, but I did miss the slide. The slide is very helpful in getting into cover quicker, and it makes gameplay a bit more dynamic where you can be more aggressive and slide around a corner and shoot. I really do hope that they keep the slide for the next Battlefield game. Basically, I really liked Battlefield 5 movement, and I was still happy with Battlefield 3 and 4 movement as well. Battlefield 1, I thought it was a bit too sluggish, a bit too slow for my liking, but the game still works, so there's that. Over the past few days, I have found it hard to find games in the normal rules server for this event. I'm on the PlayStation 5 with crossplay on, so I don't know why that is. Is it because everyone is playing in the hardcore server? Or is it that players have abandoned this game since it's not being supported anymore with any new content? Or maybe is it the time that I'm playing, because I'm playing like late at night, around midnight. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think. So to wrap things up, I don't think this event has been good so far. I just think these first two maps they've given us aren't that good because they are so open, and I think that rush on El Alamein doesn't work well because of the placement of the MCOMs and the terrain of the map. Also, it's like a soft hardcore mode in a way where you can still see icons of tagged enemies. The crosshairs have been removed too, but then you've got the rest of the HUD there, which I found a bit strange because when you swap your weapons, you can see your layout, but when you have selected your weapon, then that disappears and you're just left with whatever else is on the screen. I guess DICE didn't really want to commit to a total hardcore mode. Well, I will have to wait and see what the other two maps are like. Maybe the experience will be a bit better. Are you liking this event? Let me know of your thoughts in the comments down below. Please drop a like and subscribe if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!